Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself right now. How many times, just this week itself, did somebody tell you to be realistic? How many times did somebody tell you to get some balance? Did somebody tell you that you are caring or doing too much about people, about your quality, technology, whatever? But how many times did you feel like you needed to apologize this week for caring too much, for working too hard, or for dreaming too big, or for going too deep? And I want you to stop, just stop as you look back at this week. And I want you to understand something that will change everything for you right now. Your commitment, that fire that burns inside of you, that is not your problem. That is your power. That is your superpower. But the world doesn't want you to know that. The world wants you small, manageable, balanced. Utter nonsense. I would call that utter nonsense. And for most of my life, I have felt that way, that I'm being too much. And I've felt guilty or ashamed of being too much, of not belonging, of not being part of the group, of the world, and of constantly questioning myself and my caring too much, almost to a point of obsession. In the beginning, it was about tech. Then it became about doing things right. Then it became about people. And today it is about leadership. It is about leading my life in a way that serves as an example for others. Now, just this morning, I had two conversations. Two wildly successful people. One is an elite athlete, and another one is an entrepreneur who has 4,000 people in their team. Now, both of them in my conversation today were having the same doubt that maybe I am too much. They were asking me, maybe I am too much. They told me that their caring about quality, their caring about customer obsessiveness was too much. And that is something that has been playing on their mind. And you know what I told them? The same thing that I am going to tell you right now in this video. That your commitment is not too much. You are not too much. In fact, there is not enough of you showing up in a world that is hungry, that is starving for real leadership today. Now, here is what nobody tells you about brilliance and excellence. And this thing is killing your dreams. What nobody tells you is that every time you dial yourself back, every time you play it safe, every time you choose comfort over commitment, you are not just staying the same, you are going backwards. Because while you are being balanced, someone else is going all in. While you are being realistic, someone else is rewriting reality. While you are asking for permission, someone else is giving themselves the green light and leaving you behind. And I spent a big part of my entire life trying to play by the rules, trying to fit in, trying to be balanced, trying to be realistic, trying to be practical and being good for others. And you know what good gets you? Applause. Only from people who never dare to dream as big as you do. When you talk about your dreams, when you talk about what you stand for, unfiltered, the people who never dare to dream as big as you do, they are the people who tell you good or who question you. The people who are also doing the same, they don't question you, they celebrate you, they are happy. They even question you that, why are you playing too small? Now that's the thing about going all in. Going all in gets you misunderstood. Going all in gets you called crazy, gets you called too intense, gets you called too much. That is not criticism, though that is confirmation that you are on the right path. That is confirmation that you are operating on a frequency that others cannot understand. And that is exactly where game changers live. That is exactly where excellence lives. Steve Jobs was not balanced, Oprah is not balanced, and every person that you know that has ever built something that matters went all in while someone else was telling them to get some balance. I want you to do something right now. Take the word balance out of your vocabulary. Stop speaking it, delete it, never say it again. That's how much I hate this word. You know why? Because balance doesn't exist in nature. Balance is not natural. Show me where the mountain apologizes for being too big. Show me where the mountain tries to balance itself with the valley. Show me where the ocean tries to balance its wave. If the mountain scares somebody, then so be it. And if the wave becomes a tsunami, then so be it. The mountain stands tall, unapologetic, magnificent, simply being exactly what it is. The same goes for the lion, whom we call the king of the jungle. Now, the lion doesn't balance its hunt. When it is time to hunt, when it is time to strike, the lion gives everything. And when it is time to rest, the lion rests completely. This is why I want you to delete the word balance from your vocabulary, because nature doesn't do balance. Nature does seasons. You are not a spreadsheet. You are a human being, a force of nature with your own seasons of intensity, up and down, whichever way it is perfect. You are enough. When it is time to build, you build with everything you have got. And when it is time to rest, you rest completely as well. When it is time to lead, you lead without apology. The word balance is just another way this whole society tries to keep you, me, and us small, predictable, and manageable. And that is not wrong. That is understandable. That's just the way it is. Your greatness is not balanced. Your greatness cannot be balanced. Any one of ours greatness cannot be balanced. It is seasonal, it is rhythmic, and it is unapologetically powerful if we are brave enough to bring it out, unless you balance it. Let me break this down for you. There are two ways of showing up in the world. One is good, and the second is going all in. Now good follows the rules someone else wrote for a game that you didn't even choose to play. All in fact, throws the rule book out of the window and writes their own rules. Good asks for permission, like a kid asking to use the bathroom. And going all in, gives themselves the permission, the green light. Good tries to fit in. Good plays nice. Good doesn't rock the boat. While all in builds boat, where others can't even imagine. Now here is what giving all of yourself and going all in looks like. It is staying up until 3 a.m. because you are perfecting that already works, because you know it can work better. It is seeing solutions where others sees problems. It is turning your crazy ideas into world-changing realities, one step at a time, even when you are facing 100 rejections on the way. It is being committed to your standards, to your way of doing things, to your quality, to your craft, to your calling. Not sometimes, not when it is convenient, but always going all in, every single damn day. And the people who are telling you to slow down, they see your commitment and it makes them uncomfortable. It highlights their own settling, and your intensity reminds them of dreams that they gave up. It reminds them of risk that they were too scared to take. Now don't let their fear dim your fire. Let's talk about planning. Now here is where most people mess up. They hedge their bets. They prepare a plan B before they even get started on their plan A. Because just in case. Now let me tell you something which I have learned the hard way. Plan B becomes a safety net that then turns into a noose around your neck. Now the first year that I went full in as a coach and started my school of leadership, I had the safety net. In my mind, I was thinking I can always go back, and I was getting interview invitations at that point of time. And I would always say to myself, this is my plan B, I could always go back. Now keeping that plan B never allowed me to go full in, never allowed me to do what would actually lead me to succeed as a coach, as an independent coach. Because plan B whispers in your ear that when things get tough, plan B whispers that maybe this is not working and maybe you should take plan B, maybe you should take a safer route. Plan B is seductive. It promises comfort, it promises security, it promises approval from people who never dreamed as big as you are doing right now. Because plan B kills plan A every single time. And you know the leaders who change the world, what do? They burn the boats. They don't have a plan B. They stand in the fire. They take away all their options. They don't leave options B, C, and D open. They make plan A the only option, because that is how you get committed enough to make the impossible happen. And everything changed for me once I said to myself, now there is no coming back. There is no coming back to a full-time role. And it took me a year to actually say that. But once I said that, my energy shifted, my voice shifted. The way I am speaking right now, it would not be possible if I am thinking of a plan B. And there is no plan B, especially when you know yourself deep down that you're built for plan A. Now, true commitment gets a bad rap in the world because mediocre people don't understand it. They see your fire and think it is going to burn them. They get threatened. They see your intensity and feel inadequate about their own lukewarm approach to life. But giving all of yourself, it is not too much. In fact, it is your gift, not just to the world. Your commitment is not taking away from your life. It is your life. It is the thing that makes you come alive. It is the thing that gives you meaning. It is the thing that gives meaning to every breath that you take. And when others call you too much, too intense, too focused, too different, that is not feedback. That is not about you. That is about them. That's confirmation that you are exactly where you need to be. Because normal doesn't innovate, normal doesn't inspire, normal doesn't transform industries, lives, or the world out there. Your commitment is not your weakness. It is you. It is your strength. It is your edge. And it is your secret weapon. In fact, it is your secret weapon in a world which is full of people who have convinced themselves that average is acceptable. So here is what I need you to do right now. Not when you feel ready, not tomorrow, not later, right now. Stop apologizing for who you are. Stop apologizing for what you care about. Stop apologizing for your commitment. Stop apologizing for your passion. Stop dimming your light just to make others comfortable. Stop second guessing the fire that burns inside you. Your obsession is your compass. Your obsession is your direction. It is pointing you towards the impact that you are meant to make, the legacy that you are meant to leave, and the change that you are meant to create. Let them call you whatever they call you. Own it. Let them say you are too intense. Embrace that intensity. And let them wonder why you just can't be normal. In fact, thank them for the compliment. The world doesn't need another balanced leader. It needs more leaders who are willing to go all in, who are willing to come fully alive. Are you ready? My question to you is, as you listen to this, are you going to give all of yourself? Are you ready to stop playing small and start playing the game that you know that you are born to play? Are you ready to turn that commitment into the unstoppable force that it was meant to be, that you know that you can become once you get fully committed and act like that? Then stop listening to the noise. Stop seeking permission. Stop waiting for the right time, because the right time is now. The right person is you, and the right level of commitment is everything that you have got. So don't stop until your vision becomes real, until your dreams come true. Go all in. The world is waiting for you. And it has been the same story with every leader, every inventor, every entrepreneur, every artist, or any professional who went all in, who went fully committed. It is the same exact story. But wait, I know what is happening inside of you right now, because I can feel it. It is happening inside of me. Even as I speak to you with this, while going full in myself, I can listen to my own voice. And I know that there is a voice in your head right now which is getting louder. It is saying, yeah, but what if? What if I fail? What if I go all in and it doesn't work out? How will that look? What if people think I am crazy? Now, I would say, good, that voice, that's not your intuition, that's your conditioning, that's your programming. That's 20, 30, 40 years of people telling you to play it safe, to be realistic, to be patient, to let things take their time, to be reasonable, to be practical, to not get your hopes up. That voice is not protecting you. In fact, it is imprisoning you. Let me tell you something about failure. Every single person who has ever changed the world has one thing in common. Whether in sports, business, arts, or anywhere else, they failed more than you have even tried. Every single person who has changed the world has failed more than you have even tried. Now, you know what is the difference between them and you? They did not let failure define them. They let it refine them. And you think Michael Jordan was balanced when he got cut from his high school basketball team? You think he said, maybe I should try and find some balance and try something else? Hell no, he went all in, just doing what he does best, and he failed more than probably anybody else out there. So that voice that you hear currently, that is either blaming you or judging me as I speak this to you, that voice is not wisdom. It is in fact fear wearing a disguise. And fear is not your counsel. Fear is not your advisor. Fear is the enemy of everything that you are meant to become. Fear is the enemy of every crazy idea, every crazy dream that you know deep down that you care about, that you want to make happen, that you want to fulfill. Fear is the enemy of all of those dreams that you have. Now, right now, I want you to do something. I want you to audit your energy. Imagine, look back for the last 1 week. Look back at the last month and notice, where have you been giving 50%? Where have you been giving 70%? Where have you been giving 95% but still not going all in? Where are you holding back? Just notice. Because here is what I have discovered after working with thousands of leaders. You're not tired because you're working too hard. You're tired because you're working on the things that don't light you up. You are tired because you are not giving full of yourself. You are tired because you are holding yourself back. You are exhausted because you are pouring your life force into something which you don't really care about. and you're not going full in with that. You're exhausted because you're giving your life to some mediocre pursuit while your real calling is waiting and starving for attention. Now, the most energized people I know, they are not the most balanced. In fact, they are the most aligned, but not balanced. They found their thing, their purpose, whatever you call it, and then they went all in, even if it meant getting bruised on the way. Now, when you are committed to something that matters, you don't get tired, you get energized. You don't burn out, you light up. But when you are spreading yourself thin, trying to be everything to everybody, trying to balance all the things that don't even matter, that's when you crash, that's when you get overwhelmed, that's when you burn out. So stop managing your energy, start investing it, start letting it flow, start using your energy like a flame. A flame, when used well, can melt, shape and forge metal and even glass. That's what your energy can do. Now find that one thing which makes you come alive, the thing that makes you lose track of time, the thing that makes you excited to wake up every single day, the thing that scares you but also thrills you at the same time. That's where you go all in. Everything else is just noise. I am not telling you to burn yourself out. I am telling you to burn bright. There is a difference between going all in and going insane. Remember what I said about seasons earlier? Let me just break this down for you, right? There is a time for spring. Spring is when you prepare. This is where you plant the seeds, where you plant the vision, where you get clear on what you are building. That's the time of slowing down. That's the time of reflection. Now, summer is the time of executions, the season of summer. That's where you can work 16-hour days and it will not burn you out. It is the place where you can outwork others in small sprints. This is where the lion hunts, where you sacrifice everything that does not serve the vision. Fall is where you reap what you have sown. It is where you celebrate. It is where you acknowledge, you meet people, you meet your team, you celebrate together. You give high fives. It is where you enjoy the fruits of your commitment. And then winter in the end is recovery. It is where you rest. It is where you learn. It is where you reflect. It is where you also prepare for the next cycle, for the next season. Now the problem with most people, they try to live in either eternal rest, never doing anything, like winter always, or trying to go all in, working 16-hour days all the time, like summer. If you see pro athletes, if you take a look at any of the pro athletes, they prioritize their rest, they prioritize their sleep more than anybody else on this planet, because they know that greatness has seasons. And here is the key: when it is summer, you don't hold back. You don't say, well, I need to balance this out, I can't work 16-hour days. No, you go all in when it is summer, when it is your summer time, just like the lion goes for the hunt. Now when it is time to execute, you give everything you have got, and when it is time to rest, you rest completely. Seasonal commitment, that's the secret. Now there is something else also, which is the cornerstone of everything that we are talking about. Going all in is lonely. By definition, we are talking about giving all in to what makes you uniquely yours, right? So going all in is lonely. When you commit to excellence, you're going to leave people behind. Not because you want to, because that is just the way it is. The people who told you to slow down, they are not going to understand when you speed up. The people who told you to be realistic, they're not going to celebrate when you achieve that impossible. And the people who told you to find balance, they are going to feel very uncomfortable when you find your power, when you embrace just being who you are. That's lonely. That's the price of greatness. And it is not negotiable. And that is okay. That is your path. You might be lonely in the whole world, but there are people like you and you can team up with them. But you have to choose. Do you want to be liked by everyone, or do you want to fit in all the time, or do you want to be respected by people, even those who think that you are different? Liked and respected is not the same thing. Do you want to fit in, or do you want to stand out? One gets you admiration, the other gets you respect, even if they cannot understand, even if they can't stop judging you on the surface. So do you want to fit in with the crowd, or do you want to stand out as a leader? Do you want to be comfortable, or do you want to be extraordinary? You can't have both. You will either be judged or you will be ignored, as one of my coaches once told me. Because the moment you decide to go all in, you're going to lose some people. Friends who don't understand your drive, family members who think you have changed, and colleagues who feel threatened by your commitment. Let them go. Let them be who they want to be in those moments. You do not have to fight to prove yourself or drag them along. Because for every person you lose who doesn't understand your fire, you will attract 10 more who are inspired by your flame, by your energy. Your right people will find you. The right opportunities will find you. The right life will find you. but only if you are brave enough to commit to being who you really are. And here is what is going to happen when you start going all in, not just once in a while, but consistently, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute. Day 1, you will feel excited, scared, but alive. Day 7, you will start to see small changes. Your energy will shift, your focus will sharpen. Day 30, people will begin to start noticing. They will ask what is different, what changed. And if you can keep it up for 90 days, your results will start compounding. What seemed impossible just 90 days ago will start feeling inevitable. And if you continue this for a year, you will look back and not even recognize who you used to be. You will not recognize the person who you used to be if you can keep on this way of commitment and going all in, continuing for a full year. Now, this has happened with me and many of my clients, many times over, in fact. This is the compound effect of commitment. Every day that you go all in, you're not just building your business, you're building your character. You're literally creating yourself. Every day you choose commitment over comfort. You're not just creating some results, you're creating yourself from the ground up. Every day you're not just working on your goals, you're working on becoming the person who achieves those goals naturally. Small daily commitments. It's only the small daily commitments that create massive life transformations. But it has to be daily, it has to be consistent, and it has to be non-negotiable. You can't go all in on Monday and then half-ass it on Tuesday. You can't go all in on Wednesday and then give 50% or 70% of you on Thursday and Friday. You can't be committed in January and then comfortable back again in February. Commitment is not a mood, it's not a feeling, it's your choice. It's a choice that you make every single day. And I want to end with a simple question. And it might be the most important question that you will ever answer. And the question is that when you are lying on your deathbed, when you are looking back at your life, what do you want to see? Do you want to see a life of balance? A life where you played it safe? A life where you never rocked the boat? Or a life where you were always asking for permission? Or do you want to see a life of impact? Do you want to see a life where you went all in on what mattered? Whether it was family, whether it was a hobby, whether it was a passion, whether it was a job, whether it was an innovation, a creative idea, it was your business, whatever that was. Do you want to see a life where you changed lives, where you left the world better than you found it? Even if it led to a few people being left behind. Do you want to see a life of regret? Do you want to say that I wish I had tried harder, I wish I had cared more, or I wish I had given it my all? Or do you want to see a life of fulfillment where you can say I gave everything that I had, I held nothing back, and I became everything that I was meant to be? I didn't let a part of me waiting for the right time. The choice, as always, is yours. But you have to make it now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, now. Because ready is a lie. You will never feel ready. You will never feel prepared. You will never feel like you have enough knowledge, enough resources, enough support. Readiness is it's never about time. It is about courage. And courage always happens in the now. Never later, never tomorrow. You are enough. You have always been enough. And you just need to go all in without trying to prove anything to anybody. Fully free, fully committed, without waiting for permission. Just give that permission to yourself. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Make this moment perfect. The people you are meant to serve are waiting for what only you can give. The legacy that you are meant to leave is waiting for you to start building it. Go all in, not because it is easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be adventurous. And it is necessary for you. Not because it is comfortable, but because it is who you are. Not because everybody will understand, but because the right people will see you, the right people will follow you, will be inspired by you, and they will get it, even though most might not. So, your commitment is your superpower. It is not a problem. It is not holding you back. It is what makes you. Your commitment is your superpower. Your willingness to give all of yourself is your competitive advantage. It's not a mistake to be fixed. It's not a trait. It's not a flaw. It is your superpower. And your refusal to accept average is your ticket to excellence, is your ticket to extraordinary. So go all in fully without restraints because the world needs what you have got. Thank you for listening. Until the next time, choose carefully, choose powerfully, keep choosing leadership.